All right, I'm over at jobs.learnhowtoprosper.com, and I'm just going to take a look at our career guide. We've been going through these chapters. Yesterday, my last update here was about your local tech market. Today, we're going to talk about the 8 career paths. And so just let me walk through these quickly. 8 distinct paths, each with a clear entry point. Um, Operations and business systems. I love operations. I think it's one of the most powerful roles you can be in. So many businesses really operate pretty much blind, and most people just go off of their gut feel and they don't really know what's happening in their business. And I think the most dangerous is just the arrogance sometimes that people have been doing something for a long time, so they feel like they already know what's going on in the business. And so one of the things that you can do in an operations role, and if you haven't heard of this, really what you are is you're overseeing the day-to-day ops of any business. So for example, if it were um, take something simple like Jiffy Lube oil changes and things like that. You would want to be understanding how many people are coming through, how many repeat customers do you have, how many are staying within the change window that's recommended, what types of product are being used, different types of oil, how often are they changing filters, how broad is your market, where are people coming from. You're just running all these. What do your reviews look like? Your Google reviews, things like that. Uh, for me, I've often been in high tech, and I oversee things like support operations and knowledge base and knowledge center support, and ensuring that people know how to interact with the business through customer portal, chat, self help, all these types of things. And I think where you can really differentiate yourself in today's world is to focus on data, meaning just asking simple questions about the business. And so I think operations and business systems, again, I spoke about this in chapter 1. It's about being able to translate the business need to the tech side, and the tech side to the business, or IT. The IT group often oversees the infrastructure. And if you can kind of sit in the middle of those two and help both the business know how to run and operate better, and if you can help the IT group understand the business requirements and make that translation immensely powerful place to be. I think it's one of the best. Cloud infrastructure, professionals design and maintain servers and networks that run the cloud. I think this is immensely powerful. I I go to Google Next most years, their big annual show, and I'm so impressed with the education they provide. And I think that it's a growing platform. I think they're very hungry. I think there's a ton you could do there, and you can help companies migrate to these solutions, including Gemini. If you've used that all AI to help build apps, they have applications to where you could build apps very quickly. And a lot of times inside of a business, like I was mentioning earlier, they just have a lot of disconnected processes. And if you come in and just learn to understand the end-to-end flow and ways of streamlining that by using technology, filling in the gaps, not relying upon human intervention and manual intervention, because that's where really the losses are found. The thing is, we don't like to change. You just get used to a certain way of doing things, and so oftentimes people aren't really open to that kind of change. So if you become a change agent or someone who's willing to transform the business, you will be exceedingly valuable. Now, you may not be liked always by your peers, but because most of your peers want to just maintain the status quo. So what you've got to do is build a network within the company and start to know and understand people that are interested in transformation, people who want to hear not only the difficult and challenging questions asked, but really compelling solutions offered. That's what you want to be able to do. So I think that cloud infrastructure is a powerful place to be. Basically, think of it this way: it's applications running in the cloud, which these days a good proportion do. It's so funny to see the pendulum go each way, because uh, now what big businesses are realizing though is that it's pretty darned expensive, and that these cloud providers that are running your applications, it's almost like that it's a utility now, and they can charge you all kinds of fees. Like if you ever look at your utility bill, phone or well, not too many have landline phones anymore, but let's say that it's your electric bill or your gas bill. You go and look on there; they got all kinds of little fees and stuff. You're like, "What's this?" Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta pay that. Yeah, yeah. So that's what's happening in the cloud infrastructure. So I think that again, it's even more powerful if you're sitting in this space of cloud infrastructure, that you could work for a company, help them to roll these things out, but do it in a very cost effective way and keep your eye on the costs and the expenses and make sure that they're not getting away from you. And then if they are, then what you may want to do is create your own private network with using something like VMware or other types of virtual machines, which are just fantastic. Anyway, this knowledge is so valuable. And I can pretty much guarantee you that there's right near you, there are probably 50 businesses within a 50-mile radius that could use your help. So, first of all, I think it's so important to have the right mindset and just recognize that the opportunity's out there, it's everywhere. But you can't think of it in terms of an employee. You have to think of it in terms of being an owner and saying, hey, if I were the owner, what would I do? How would I approach this? How would I help them? And I think that's really where you can add an enormous amount of value. Like so many things in life, it's really more about your thinking and your attitude than it even is about your experience. I think your aptitude to learn these things and have a good attitude is really important, and it's the differentiator. So think of it that way. Cybersecurity is huge. Think of cybersecurity as insurance. It's really companies ensuring that people aren't breaking in, stealing valuable data and information and hacking people. There's lots of ways that this happens. There's social engineering where people can kind of wiggle their way into your network and get key information that allows them to compromise your network. And there's a lot of different angles of cyber security. Think of it almost as like you're teaching companies how to be safe, how to maintain safety in their environment, and there are applications that will help you do that. It can get very, very complex, but you can start simple and build everything from just, are people running regular scans? Are they do they have some kind of um, you know uh, what am I thinking right now? Just different types of scanners, making sure that you don't have different ransomware or bugs or viruses on their computers. You can start there and then build from there. And I'm telling you that I would say that, again, 50 businesses within 50 miles of you are compromised right now. It could use your information. And sometimes you think, well, I have to be like a genius. There's so many people that are out there. And it's not true. You need to be 20% more knowledgeable than the people you're offering services to. Maybe and it's probably not too hard to be 50% more knowledgeable, and in most cases, 100% more knowledgeable. So think of it in those terms. I think data analytics is huge. This is such a powerful area. Think of it this way. Again, let's just keep using this 50 businesses within 50 miles. You could probably step into the very first one, go in there and ask them some key questions about how they're monitoring their business. For example, just how many customers do they have? Are they repeat customers? Are they having to get new customers? Are they using ads? How are they getting customers? And just a few questions like that. In fact, maybe what I'll do on one of these is I'm just going to have a whole series of questions that you could ask where you could use data to answer those questions for them. And you're saying, well, how would I do that? Well, and today with AI, it's easy. In fact, I have a course, and you can learn more about it by going over to jobs.learnhowtoprosper.com, and you'll see a banner where I'm offering different courses, and you'll see pretty quickly how you could take a handful of data sets from a customer, and all you do is say, can you export that data into a CSV file, an Excel file? And then you can take that Excel file, and probably within a half an hour, you could answer most of those questions. Bring it back to them, say, hey, I could set up the system, I could automate it for you. And for 150, 300 bucks a month, I'll be on retainer to help you do this. Super powerful. Software engineering has completely changed. I mean, what a powerful area. Again, if you want to learn how to be a no-code architect, I do have a course on that. And it's so powerful these days with AI, how fast you can build an app. I built this whole website using a certain process that I'd be happy to share with you. And you could build your own website, and you could build websites for other people, or even just for specific purposes, even if it's just temporary. You could do it for someone's, like, people, their wedding, or they're going to have a family reunion and they just want a really nicely constructed site where people can RSVP and things like that. Even all the way to inside a company, understanding what their biggest problems are, and then once again just building processes and software to kind of close the gap on some of their biggest issues. We live in the best time ever. AI automation is amazing. I think, again, that's an area that is so rich right now, and anyone that is willing to take, I don't know, 4 to 8 hours of just training could become an expert compared to anyone else that's around them, using AI for all kinds of things. Everything from automating processes to creating integrations between different systems that right now run disconnected, things like that. So that's huge. Technical consulting, solutions engineering. Wow. Again, with AI, let's say that any of these things that we just talked about, if you had some expertise in those areas, think what you could bring to the table. Just asking questions and listening is all you need to do. In fact, what I would do today, you could just reach out to 1 or 2 businesses near you. Say, go in with your mobile phone, use Granola AI, and just have a conversation. Just say, "Hey, I'm entering into a series of technical capabilities, and I would love to just learn more about your business." And just ask them questions. Where do your customers come from? How many customers do you have? How do you get leads? How expensive are your leads? What are your biggest problems in your business? What keeps you up at night? What headaches do you have? Uh, just a series of several questions, and just record their answers, and then say, "That's fantastic. Would it be okay? Could I come back and I could send you an email that just outlines a report that I built that will help you answer many of these questions? And if you think that I could be of any help to you, then let me know." You could do that right now. You could literally do that today. And you're like, "Oh no, I'm afraid to talk to people. Oh no." Look, people love to talk about their business. They do. They love to talk about their business, just like people like to talk about themselves. And so that's a way that you can really optimize uh, your future, is that simple type of conversation. I'm going to wrap this up here around systems administration. Obviously, that's something where you can take different types of certifications. You can learn databases. You can learn cloud infrastructure. You can learn all these types of things and provide those capabilities and skills. I think the most interesting thing, though, is to solve bigger macro problems in a business. And you have the ability to do that right now. You don't think you do, but you do. Because if you can ask questions and listen and just shut up and just ask, get really good at asking questions and asking follow-up questions, then you can create $1 million business. And I really earnestly and truly believe that. So that's my review for today. I hope that some of what I shared with you is valuable. I would come down here, look up job postings. Is kind of the assignment for today. Find tech professionals near you. Not only find tech professionals near you, go and find businesses near you. Or maybe you have an uncle that has a business, or you have a friend. Just say, "Hey, I'm just doing a little exercise for my own personal enrichment. Could I want to learn more about your business. Could you just tell me about it? Just what keeps you up at night? What are your problems? If you could improve one thing, what would it be?" Just those types of questions. And if you don't have good questions, just go to ChatGPT. Even just go to Google and use their AI, right? At Google search now. Because if you go there, let's try that. Let's go to Google. Let's go to Google. Either Google search right here. See this right here? Click in AI mode and just say, "I am a budding tech professional. Please give me 25 excellent questions I could ask local businesses to improve improve their operations. So let's just see what it comes back with here. And here it is. I mean, here are 25 excellent questions to ask local businesses. Daily workflow and bottlenecks. This is so fantastic. Look at the times we live in, dude. You can go do this and you could walk into any business with these questions. Daily workflow and bottlenecks, data inventory management, customer experience and sales, software technology integration, growth and future scaling. I love these. What a great set of questions. You go do that right now. You go do that right now, and then you could print these off or put them on your phone as a document and just walk over to a business and say, "Hey, can I ask you some questions? So if it's okay, I just want to learn more about what you do." And let me just start with the first one. Would you mind? What daily task takes your team the longest time to complete? You know, where do you spend most of your time? Which manual processes do you wish you could automate completely? That's a great question. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you can see how easy it is, and I hope that you'll take me up on this challenge for today. And if you'd like to learn more, I do have a course that I'm going to be offering. It's here under it's called the Intrapreneur Playbook. I mean, I'm talking about these things all the time. I'm just going to walk you through a step-by-step process and a set of tools and information that will allow you to be very effective as an entrepreneur. And then once you're an entrepreneur, you can learn how to be an entrepreneur, and the sky's the limits. So with that, I'm going to sign off today. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope this helped you in some way. I hope you'll comment and ask any questions you might have. I'll get back to you. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Thanks, guys. Have a fantastic day. Bye.